episode of TV Lowell, the show that has you covered on what's been happening and what will happen around here at Lowell High School.
I'm Silky.
And I'm Roxana.
And
this is TV Lowell.
Let's start off with Green Menu Day. With climate change and global warming becoming more apparent, Lowell's Eco Club presents an unlikely solution. Green Menu Days, a day in the week where you are encouraged, not forced, to not eat any meat. Recently, the district approved the plan to have a full vegetarian selection for school meals every Monday. We partner up with Eco Club to create a video with more information about this. Take a look.
Green Menu Day. If you were in the cafeteria line, which one of these would you choose? Chicken and beans or pupusa? If you chose chicken, well, there's a few things that you probably didn't know about meat, and it isn't just limited to cafeteria food. Meat production comes at a sharp cost. According to PETA, it takes about 660 gallons of fresh water to produce one hamburger, including raising the cow and the crops needed for it to grow. That's as much as 2 whole months worth of shower water. Additionally, 45% of the Earth's total land is dedicated to livestock, and every second, at least 2 acres of rainforest are cut down for grazing pasture, about 2.5 football fields. Rainforests also contain about half of the animals on the planet, and our careless destruction of their habitats is wreaking havoc on their ecosystem. However, the worst part about meat production is the amount of greenhouse gases that are produced. On a global scale, the entire assembly line of raising livestock and processing their meat accounts for 64% of all greenhouse gas emissions. The most devastating of these is nitrous oxide, which, although only comprises a small part of the atmosphere, can trap over 200 times as much ozone as carbon dioxide. Reducing your meat consumption also leads to a healthy lifestyle. Several studies have been done on how meat affects the body's ability to function. Harvard researchers found that 1 serving of processed meat increases the risk of diabetes by 51%, and various doctors have found strong correlations between meat consumption and high blood pressure, obesity, and clogged arteries. Besides that, eating vegetarian can also lead to a lower risk of acne breakouts. It's no understatement to say that we all want to have clearer skin. Eating less meat may help achieve that goal. This still isn't enough to convince you. The meat industry is tremendously contributing to climate change, which is causing many of our world's weather catastrophes, including the California Camp Fire this past fall. With the changing climate, rain levels are declining and seasons are longer, making plants and other objects much more susceptible to catching a blaze. The Camp Fire burned for 2 weeks, killing 88 people and razing 13,000 houses to their foundations, with smoke reaching San Francisco despite being 160 miles away. While meat production is not the main culprit behind these climate changes, it's certainly an accomplice in damaging our environment. Look, is this really a future that we want to have? Do we want to have more deforested land, more wildfires, and less fresh water? It might seem bleak now, but we can make a difference. By reducing your consumption 1 meal a week or 1 day a week, your choice makes a difference. Our school district is taking a big step by hosting a Green Menu Day trial this October. During Green Menu Days, the cafeteria will serve a vegetarian and a sustainably raised meat meal for all of SFUSD middle and high schools, starting this October. Please support the program by choosing the vegetarian meal, because bite by bite, we all fight for our planet. Use your diet choice to join us in fighting climate change.
Last Monday, April 22nd, was the 49th Earth Day. Eco Club celebrated this event with Eco Week. Monday was walk, bike, or bus to school day. Tuesday was plant-based diet day, where Eco Club gave out free falafels in the courtyard. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Eco Club sold reusable metal straws and had a clothes wall.
By the way, if you don't remember, our last episode had the first edition of our Draw My Life series to commemorate Principal Ishibashi, but due to some difficulties, it was shown without narration. We're sorry for the confusion the episode caused, and we remade it. Here's the complete and better version of the first episode.
You already know that I'm the principal here at Lowell. But let's rewind a bit. I was born down in South LA, although back then we called it South Central, and it was a very challenging part of the city. My family of 5 kids were somewhat pretty poor, but we always had food on our table and a roof over our head and clothes. When I attended elementary school, my elementary school was the majority African Americans, so I was actually a minority. The same thing happened when I went to middle and high school. I was bussed out into the white areas, and at the beginning I didn't socialize very much. While I wasn't necessarily the smartest kid around, all my siblings kicked butt in academics, but not me. While I was an athlete and good in music, I was never really meant to make it that far in life. It wasn't all bad though. I got A's in PE and music, yes sir. And that led me to try to become a PE teacher. It seemed fun and I was good at it. But at the time I didn't even have enough money to go to college or get a car. To be honest, I blame myself for that, because back then I felt like a car was just as important. You know, LA's a big city, so I wanted both a car and go to college. I began working at a store called Moscatel's. I was a janitor, a senior in high school. I worked 8 to 5 there on Skid Row, and then I went to Albertsons from 6 to 12. I worked through Albertsons through my senior year, and I actually worked through it through college. Wow, 2 jobs my senior year. Moscatel's was in Skid Row, where all the homeless lived. While I was there, I talked to some of the people and shared my lunches with them. Yeah, I always did stuff like that. It's not like I was scared of them. If anything, it helped me gain insight on their struggles. And not all of them were bad. Some of them were smart. Some of them were on drugs. And a lot of them were war veterans. They were sick, and they weren't getting the help they needed. It was really tough seeing adults like that. But before all this happened, I went to prom. Who could forget prom night? It was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Dang, that was crazy. So my prom date's name was Lily, and she was Chinese. Whoa, and her mom didn't like me at all. It's okay, but her father, he was from the streets, and I'm pretty sure he liked me because he could tell I was too. Can you imagine that? Me being a street kid? That was a long time ago. So I graduated from high school. Spent 2 years working for my car so I could go to college. And I got in. But I don't think I'll ever forget my high school years. For what it's worth, I never left. And back then, I've had a great time. Thanks, you guys.
Since this is Mr. Ishibashi's last year, we hope we did our best to kick off the story of his life.
Knowing that this is Mr. Ishibashi's last year, this video seems more disheartening. On a more unfortunate note, let's talk about AP exams, which are starting next Monday, May 6th. If you're taking an AP exam, you will line up by roster number outside of your testing room on your day. Your roster number will be posted on totalregistration.net.
For question of the week, last week we went throughout the school and asked you guys, what's a memorable dream you've had? Let's look at some of the responses.
I had a dream that I was a soccer coach and the opposing team was Voldemort from Harry Potter. He was the other coach. and we had a game, and at halftime, his players, who were all Death Eaters, all of a sudden burst into like a disco party, and then all of a sudden I was like an investigative police officer, and so I said Levi Corpus, and then he was like hanging by his feet, and then I woke up.
I had a dream in which I was going to take that test the following morning, and me pretty much thinking that, oh, this is reality. I was pretending it was a normal day, just like, you know, eating breakfast, going to school and everything. But when I attended this class it was actually a math test, when I attended the class for the test, I actually completely bombed it. I was like sitting in front of the class, just like not knowing what to do. And pretty much at that moment when I knew I was failing the test and I literally knew nothing, I woke up and I was just glad that like my heart was literally beating, and I was glad that didn't actually happen, because I would have been screwed if that did.
For these life-size dolls, and then there were like some smaller ones, and they were creepy and like porcelain and awful, and I was like hiding under my covers, and then the dolls like came to life, and there was like one doll that was like the leader doll who like was terrifying and had like ordered the other dolls to like kill my family.
I was sleeping, and then I woke up, and I thought I woke up in real life, but it was actually me waking up from another dream inside my dream. And I remember vividly being in a trash can and then going down a hill, and I don't know why, but I was like full on butt naked, and then as I reached the bottom of the hill, I just hear this like 18-wheeler horn just brr, brr, and then just it ran me over, and I was like, what the hell? And I woke up in real life, and then turns out that I woke up from another dream. So it was a dream inside a dream inside a dream. So it was crazy, man.
It's almost time to go, but before we do, we're gonna hit you with the Lowell. Since February last year, the Lowell has put out their hit series, Teachers React to Rate My Teacher's Comments. And they recently released their third edition, featuring Miss Palagati, Miss Melvin, and Mr. Bell. You can check out the full video on the Lowell's YouTube channel, and while you're there, maybe consider subscribing. Anyways, here's a sample clip for what they have to offer.
The best teacher I have ever met, and we recommend 1000%. Never seen a better teacher, and if you take Italian, you need to take her, and no other person fall in love with her personality and style. Allora forever. You know, allora is my word, so that means then, now, but I use all the time. There is a count there, my students are counting how many times I'm saying that word. Yeah, I'm very happy. It's true. Everything is true. I don't know if I'm so nice, but I mean, I'm saying